has been quite popular recently, and I'm sure most of you guys are aware with it. And you can look at companies that are very consistent in terms of paying out dividends. Every year, Kenyans in the diaspora send over billions of shillings. But what if that money didn't just support, but multiplied? In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 smart, practical ways of how to invest in Kenya and actually build wealth. Welcome to this video. My name is Mesha Kiprop. So the first one you're going to start with is real estate, and this is regard to renting and buying land or land banking. This is a very genius way of how to invest because it has been proven over time. It has that surety that you're going to actually gain in the long run, even though there are rumors that selling land is a bit hard, but it stores value. And this, I'm speaking about land near towns, near fast rising commercial hubs like Nairobi, Kitengela, Juja, and the rest, as well as Eldoret. These are places that are growing rapidly, and land prices are increasing and appreciating over time. Also, Airbnb is another aspect in the rental and land point that you can actually take advantage of, setting up or renting a house and then turning it into an Airbnb apartment and marketing it so that tourist visitors can be able to take the Airbnb, and you'll be able to earn something. The second point is money market funds. These are very low risk, and because they don't have high risk of entry and they are not volatile, hence your money will still remain intact and it will gain small but compounding amounts over time. So it gains something, and it gains interest in the long run. And this is a safe haven for your money, remember. And the second thing that makes this money market thing quite compelling is that you can take it out anytime. It's quite easy to withdraw the money that you've invested, and also there is very few charges that the company that you are buying their MMFs will charge you. So examples include the CIC Asset Management and Britam. These are quite famous in Kenya that you can be able to look out for. The third point or way you can invest is through SACCO's investment. This is a segment that has been often underlooked, and it is not really appreciated as much because strong SACCOs like Stima SACCO can give you very good dividends annually, and they are very open in how they run everything in the SACCO. So these are things you can take advantage of, and there is very minimal documents or bureaucracy that is involved with SACCOs compared to things like stocks and what have you. So it is also a very compelling segment that can grow your wealth rather than just sending money without having a clear goal or structure. The fourth point or way to invest is through agribusiness. This is a fast growing economic sector, and it's actually the one that is powering Kenya's economy currently. So you think of poultry, dairy, and avocado export. These are areas where there is rapid growth and the goods are in high demand. For example, avocado, it is in very high demand and there is not a lot of supply, hence how lucrative it is. So you can be able to think of this agribusiness side as well to invest your billions. The other way to invest is through government bonds and treasury bills. So you invest via the Central Bank of Kenya. That is where you'll be able to get the bonds, and this is also a safe haven because your initial investment does not fluctuate over time. It is intact, and as well it is very promising. When interest rates rise, you'll have quite a happy time because it will be able to gain a big amount of interest, and the government backs it, so there is no way your money will get lost, or rather you'll be conned. So it's quite a safe haven and has very many pros for you to grow your money. The other point is stock market. This is the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Has been quite popular recently, and I'm sure most of you guys are aware with it. And you can look at companies that are very consistent in terms of paying out dividends, and companies that have a clear structure, a clear plan of growth in the near future. Because with stocks, you need to be able to plan long term. You need to be able to think not just in small periods, but in decades. Hence why you should just invest in companies that are very consistent and have been consistent even in the past. So you think companies like Safaricom, you have the British American Tobacco, you have the East Africa breweries, and also these KPLC, these energy stocks. They also have a very, very good cash book, or not cash book, sorry, but the word is not coming, but they have a good history in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. They are performing really well, and they are paying out dividends consistently. The seventh point we're going to talk about is building rental bedsitters or hostels. This is basically common in areas where there is high student population, and because this will be your target market, areas like Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, and also the occupancy rates are quite high because of the number of students. So the rental units or the bedsitters won't stay idle and just eat up your money. They are quite lucrative and quite promising in the ROI terms or perspective. The other point is franchise or retail business. Another aspect or sector that has been getting momentum, especially in Kenya and East Africa in the recent past. This is because of the more entrepreneurial knowledge that is out there. Have seen a lot of franchises that have grown and have become successful. I've seen the likes of Modokinju Paints and Cements. I've also seen many petrol stations are franchising, many hotels, restaurants, and it's quite a good business, especially if the company or the brand is known and it has goals, and it's a very forward-thinking brand. So these are the only brands that you need to invest in, because it can also mess you up big time if you're not keen. And these include like I've said, Modokinju Paints and Cements. There is all these fuel petrol stations like Shell, Rubis. I'm not really sure if they franchise, but there is very high chances that they are franchising. Also, KFC is a franchise, and others more. Also, mini-marts, they are very good, especially in neighborhoods that you can invest in, and you can just hire local managers or people to look after it and run it, while you run it remotely, but there are people who are on the ground doing the actual work. The other point is transport business. These include the likes of boda boda and all sort of logistic business. It is very lucrative because, I mean, goods have to move at the end of the day because people need goods to survive. So in the aspect of boda boda, you're not thinking like the average boda boda guy. You need to think of it like an e-commerce way to do things, because there are things like Uber, Glovo, all these distribution companies. They need boda boda, and these you hire out so that they just do the delivery. They don't need to carry customer, or through Uber, whereby you can be able to know the number of trips made and also the amount of money made. So, and customers are online, they're not offline. So it's very, very open, and it's easy to run it even remotely. So these are things that you need to look out. And also with the e-commerce growth, the delivery are quite many currently. So there's no way you'll not get customers. The last point is digital and online business. These are spaces like YouTube channel, the e-commerce space, whereby you have an e-commerce store and with a website, and people just buy your products online, or through an agency whereby you offer a certain service and people can be able to access that service online. They are very advantageous since you just run them remotely. You don't need to really have physical presence to run it. And they also have the upside of low operational cost, hence why it is very advantageous. The biggest mistake diaspora investors make is sending money without a strategy. Start small, stay consistent, and think long term, because whether you like it or not, Kenya is growing with or without you. The question is, will you be part of that growth? That was me. Like the video, share, and leave a comment. See you on the next one.